This is the greatest economy we've ever had. Their talking points, oh, costs are high, costs are high. By the way, the only thing is beef. Beef
coffee
is a little high because the ranchers are doing great.
That's President Trump with Laura Ingraham speaking this week as beef prices hit new all-time highs. The president ordering the Department of Justice to investigate meatpacking companies for what he called illicit collusion over high prices. The September CPI showed uncooked beef prices up across the board year over year, ground beef increasing almost 13%. All of this as U.S. cattle herds shrink and meatpackers look to foreign cattle supply to meet the growing demand. The Wall Street Journal calling beef political red meat, saying, quote, Mr. Trump garnered angry moos from ranchers when he proposed to increase the quota for Argentinian beef in an effort to lower prices. Joining me now is the president and CEO of Omaha Steaks. Nate Rempe is here. Nate, good to see you. Welcome.
Maria, same.
One of our favorite companies, Omaha Steaks. What is your reaction to the president encouraging Argentinian beef, and how are you going to keep costs down as prices go up?
Look, domestically, we need to get our arms around it. Last time we got together, we talked about how the herd is at a 70-year low, demand is at an all-time high, and the net result is prices are through the roof. So there's this concept in the industry called heifer retention, and it's a decision that the rancher and the feedlot operator make to hold back the female animal to build the herd as opposed to send it to market. Now, that's a double-edged sword. We've started to see good signals that that's happening, but that means that the supply is going to continue to shrink as fewer cattle are going to market. So we are headed for what I'm calling, Maria, the $10 a pound reality. By third quarter of 26, families are going to see $10 a pound ground beef in the grocery store. So we're in for a bit of a haul here. I don't believe we'll see price come down in any meaningful way until sometime in 2027.
Wow. So what can the administration do from a regulatory backdrop? President Trump's trying to rein in costs and get prices lower. What do you think the best bet is?
Well, I do think that, foreign supply is part of the picture. But, Argentinian beef only makes up about 2% of the total beef supply in America. So, the domestic supply is a super critical component to keeping prices low. Companies like Omaha Steaks are leveraging methods that allow us to take advantage of the market in a unique way. A lot of people think the beef market is this stable, smooth curve. The reality of it is it looks very much more like a roller coaster. So, we've got these big blast freezers. We can take advantage of the valley, take a large position, freeze that product, process it, and build inventory and extend that to our customers.
I see. I mean, look, we're ahead of the busy holiday season. That is fast approaching. Shoppers are looking to stretch their dollars to keep the cost of a meal down. And we've got a new survey which reveals more Americans will look to AI to plan their Thanksgiving meal this year to get the best deals. Younger households also expecting to save $47 on groceries with the help of AI. The president said consumers can expect cheaper Thanksgiving costs, certainly, after his efforts. Watch this.
Now, Walmart came out with a statement that they do every year for many, many decades. And they said that a Thanksgiving meal costs 25% less this Thanksgiving, coming up, think of that, than it did last Thanksgiving under Sleepy Joe Biden. That's a 25% reduction.
But, Nate, I mean, steak prices are up significantly across the board. Filet up 56% since last November. What are you expecting for the holidays?
We're going to flex our muscle at Omaha Steaks, and we're going to hold our primary gift packages at the same prices that we've had the last 48 months. And we're going to do that by looking internally, driving efficiencies into our business, leveraging our vertical integration. We've got good inventory build that's happened over the course of 24 and 25. And so I think America needs to really look to companies that have interesting competitive advantages like Omaha Steaks, where we can play the beef spot market and take advantage of that. So, grocery is hand to mouth. They're buying fresh beef, and so they're very exposed to volatility in the beef market. So, as America comes to omahasteaks.com, they're going to find that, that $89.99 package is going to be an extremely good value. That bacon wrap filet, we're going to have chicken in there, and we're doing that really with a long-term mentality in mind to build that customer relationship and leverage our 100-year history of being able to sort of navigate the peaks and the valleys in the beef market. Not our first rodeo, Maria.
Of course. Look, you've got a plan for this stuff. So, Nate, I mean, what about this $10 a pound in the grocery store? When do you expect that to take hold?
I think that'll hit us around Q3 26. And it's going to be tough on families. I mean, that's going to be quite a shock. When that price point hits the 4 digits, it really feels like it has increased dramatically. And so, if we're talking about AI, using AI to figure out how to buy smart, thinking about how you can leverage things like online meat subscriptions. Consumers should be buying 80-20 beef when they're browning it and draining that fat. It's a better cost per ounce from a yield perspective. So, America, if you're listening to this and you're concerned about what it's going to cost you, how protein is going to hit your wallet, leverage technology, leverage AI, understand how you can change the way you're buying meat to move towards those companies that have competitive advantages like Omaha Steaks, where we can take a position when the beef market is low, we can build that inventory, and we can hold our prices more stable for you. Now, there's a point where that gets to a level where it really doesn't matter, what technology we're using or whether we're hand to mouth or freezing. Beef is on the way up, Maria. I don't want to try to sugarcoat that. It's at an all-time high, and we have got to rebuild the herd.
Wow. Are you expecting that ultimately you will have to raise prices again?
I really hope not. I hope that we can continue to drive efficiency and productivity. I mean, we're using AI at Omaha Steaks. We're finding ways to invest in automation and robotics, to drive costs out. But, I have to ultimately buy beef to manufacture my product. So if that price hits an unsustainable level, I'm subject to the same challenges.
All right, Nate, most important question here. When you make a steak, do you like to put it on a wrought iron pan, or do you like to put it on the barbecue or in the oven? What's the best tasting?
Oh, man, you get that cast iron pan. So I put a half a cup of butter in there. Oh. Okay? And you baste that steak in that cast iron pan, and you get that, crust on both sides. You're making me hungry, even having to talk about it.
Beautiful. Nate, I love it. Thank you so much for that idea, and we appreciate you joining us. We're going to be watching your work at Omaha Steaks.